It's pumpkin time! Hi, welcome to another video. Today we're going to make these fun fall pumpkin arrangements in these novelty containers using all the beautiful fall materials you see before you. So let's get started. So I'm going to first show you what containers we're going to use today. I've got this pumpkin container that I bought from Hobby Lobby. Now, this is what it looks like at Hobby Lobby. It's $23.99 and everything fall is 40% off. So I got this for $14.40, which is really inexpensive. And I bought this one last year. I bought another one this year to use for my design show in the fall. And it's food safe. So I've actually used this for pumpkin Thai curry I've made in the past to serve in here. So it's kind of cute and nice thing to have for Halloween, fall, or Thanksgiving. Now, the reason I wanted to use the ceramic pumpkin is because I have made arrangements in real pumpkins. You could definitely carve out a real pumpkin and put a container in there and do an arrangement, but it lasts only a few days and it just starts molding and falling apart. And it's really hard to cut through the pumpkin. So I like the ceramic pumpkin that you can reuse and you can use it to serve your pumpkin Thai curry. I'll put this aside and hopefully your Hobby Lobby still has some and maybe you can find this on Amazon, I'm not sure. So it has a lid that comes off and it's of course watertight and I just have a piece of foam in here. And I have a smaller pumpkin here that is not from Hobby Lobby. It's smaller and also comes with a lid. And we're also going to rearrange in this today. The great thing is it has this really cool wire thing that it fits in the lid. And what it does is it holds your pumpkin top like this into the floral foam. So it was designed to be used like this. Isn't that great? Now, I don't remember buying this. I think it was a gift to my mother. Maybe it's like an FTD exclusive or something, but whatever it is, this is a great little pumpkin because it has that little thing that holds that lid open like that. So I'm going to make an arrangement with the lid open like this and one just completely open and have a large arrangement in here and a smaller one in here, and we're going to use them as a pair. So like a little vignette for fall. Okay. So once you have a fun novelty container like this, then it's just kind of easy, right? You're just going to do a nice arrangement in here. So the materials I have today are all fall colors. We've got roses, spray roses, button mums, and two kinds of protea, a little bit of fall hydrangea for my garden, and assortment of greenery and thistle. I'm going to start with greening in the pumpkin. I'm not going to green in too heavily, but I'm going to put a little bit of greenery in. I've got some maple and some this bronzed crepe myrtle from the garden. Just want a variety of textures for the greenery and for the pumpkin. And it's all about scale, right? You want to make sure your arrangement kind of is not too big for the pumpkin, that overwhelms it, but you also don't want it to be too small, like set in really deep. Often I find that a lot of people have the wrong scale for their container, and that's important to get right so that you don't have a silly looking arrangement. I saw an arrangement this last week in a really beautiful Trois planter, but the arrangement was just stuck inside. It was so small for the planter that it looked ridiculous. So scale is important. I've got some scented geranium. Now, even though we're doing these bronzed fall colors, I like a little pop of fresh green to set off all the other colors, make it more vibrant. Okay. I'm not going to green in too heavily, but I think I'll have another thing of the maple in here. I'm going to do a little bit taller, this maple in here. And then I'm going to look at my larger focal flowers. I've got two kinds of different protea. I have this kind of protea, the leucospurnum, and then this is the pincushion protea. Kind of pretty. I like the textures, right? Really pretty. I think I have another protea here. See, I want to make sure I have leave a protea for that other arrangement. So I'm going to keep this little one over here, save it for my small pumpkin arrangement. Proteas are very long-lasting flowers, and starting to like it. I didn't used to like the proteas. I'm starting to like it. Now this type of protea you see growing here in California because it's drought tolerant. Then I've got these beautiful red roses. This is a red rose called Hearts. This is a wonderful red rose. It's very long lasting, and it's kind of a dark red, dark velvety red. And the great thing is it's got the ruffled petals, like high petal count, ruffled center. I guess the center kind of looks like a heart. That's why it's called Hearts. Sort of putting the flowers in at different levels. I don't want it to be a really, too tightly clustered arrangement. This is a great button mum that's in that burnt orange with a burgundy center. Really nice. I'm not a mum person, but I guess it has its uses, especially at this time of year. I love this particular mum's color. I think that's what I don't love about mums. There's so many colors that I don't love with mums, like those kind of lavender pinks that are not very vibrant, kind of sad looking to me. No, just don't love mums. Some of this sunset orange spray rose, very pretty. This would be a great gift if you are invited for Thanksgiving to someone's house. You can buy one of these containers and do a simple arrangement in there. And that would be a wonderful hostess gift because then they can keep the container and every time they pull it out and use it, they'll think of you. I often do hostess gifts where the container is novel or interesting, and the container is the gift, but then the flowers are also part of it. So I'm often gifting people interesting containers. I'm going to add in some more greenery. Fall is a time when I'm driving around and always looking in what kind of beautiful foliage people have in their gardens. There's a lot of beautiful Chinese pistachio along my street, and they're the first to turn, and the colors are so vibrant and gorgeous. Okay. And then I have some seeded eucalyptus that I think I'm going to use just a little bit, just give that frilliness. It's like almost like a filler. Right now, if you drive around in California, you could find lots of seeded eucalyptus at its prime because the seeds are perfect. In the spring, the seeds are still really small, but in the fall, they're like that perfect, plump eucalyptus seeds. There's a broken piece. I think I'll use that for the small arrangement since that small pumpkin will need short pieces. So don't waste any of your stems. Sometimes you have broken small things, just reserve it because you can use it in a little tiny arrangement. Okay. Don't want to do too much of the eucalyptus. I think I'll stop. Okay. Then I have some of this blue thistle that I think would be interesting and unexpected. I like that periwinkle blue. It offsets the apricot-y orange colors in here. It's an unexpected color for a fall arrangement, but the thistle I think is perfect in this arrangement. See, it's a super easy arrangement to do, right? I think we're almost done with this arrangement. I just want to make sure the foam's covered and everything looks nice. It doesn't use a lot of materials. Now I have some of this faux privy berry from Hobby Lobby, and this was inexpensive. I think it was $6 for 5 stems. The stems came in one big bunch, so I just cut them off. I'm trying to think if I want to use it or not in here. Maybe a stem would be kind of cool in here. What do you think? Yeah, like that. I often will add colors that are, just kind of contrast or is not expected with the fall materials. Like I didn't buy any purple, but often I'll do like a royal purple or eggplant purple in here, like an eggplant stalk. So I like to have a little bit of contrast, not just do the typical colors for fall. I think they're all about the same length. The great thing with faux materials, you kind of bend them if you want them to be a little bit bent. Doesn't have to be upright, right? Okay. Have 3 stems in here. Okay, I'm going to turn this around and see if we need anything, if we're missing anything. Looks pretty good to me. What do you guys think? I'm going to put that aside, and then we're going to go ahead and arrange in this small pumpkin here. Let me put this over here. This is great. So we're going to do a one-sided arrangement here, so you're going to use even less materials. So I almost don't have to green in because there's not a very large opening here, and we're trying to use at least a little bit of each material that we used in the bigger pumpkin arrangement. Use some of this maple. Okay, I think that's too big for it, so I'm not going to use the privy berries. I'm going to use some of the seeded eucalyptus. Let's put in some of our larger flowers first. The protea, we just have one left for the this arrangement. We'll just cut it really short. Put it in here. So I greened in with the maple and the seeded eucalyptus. You see how you don't need to have perfect symmetry, just balance visual weight. If I did the equal amount of maple on this side, it's fine, but I think it looks a little bit, I don't know, too symmetrical, and I want it to look a little less arranged, if that makes any sense. And if you want to add a little bit of that color, you can, but you don't have to have it all exactly the same. And one side could be a little bit smaller than the other. Okay, I'm going to do one of these heart roses. So pretty. Right here. And some of these little button ones. So you just use very little materials in an arrangement like this. But really cute. I think I'll add a sprig of our spray roses. just moving the stem of over here. And sometimes as you do it, you think, oh, maybe it needs a little more of this, a little less of that. You know, so it's, I don't always know what I'm doing, you know. As I'm arranging, I figure it out. All right, how about some of that thistle? Do I have a small stem? Yeah, there's a nice small stem of thistle. Even this might be too long. It'll be okay. Maybe I'll cut it short to use it just small here. Okay. I don't want it to be so big that obscures the container. So I might go through and just cut some of the greenery off on like the cedar eucalyptus. If it's cascading over a little too much, I'm going to cut it off a little bit and cut some of this maple because I want to make sure you can see the container. Like this stem of mums might be a little bit long. I'm going to shorten it. Okay, I think I want another thistle on this side here. Just going to cut a little sprig of it. Okay, I'm going to just assess to see how it looks. It looks pretty good. Okay. Might want to, I feel like the rose should be on top, the big rose, and then maybe the small rose on the bottom. Let me try that. The opening is actually quite small, so I can't really get much in here. I don't think I could get a second rose. Okay, so that's fine the way it is. Okay, it's missing a little bit of that bright green, so I will add a few sprigs of the geranium. So you see how I added the sunset orange color here, and it's so close to the pumpkin. I always want to have a little contrast, so I put a little greenery here so it sets it off from the pumpkin. These are just little design tricks I want to share with you. And that will set it off from the pumpkin, right? So you can see the rose better, and it's highlighted, and the other colors are more vibrant when you add a bright green to it. Okay. Then do I need anything over here? Maybe I need a little bit of the roses or the mums. Maybe a mum here or two. Just add it here. It's kind of a dead corner. Okay. Maybe it's too symmetrical. I don't know. Maybe I just add another rose. So here we have it. We have the larger pumpkin with a larger arrangement in it, and our smaller pumpkin that's half open with a lid. And I just added a little pumpkin I picked up from the grocery store. I love how these turned out. They were super easy to do using these novelty pumpkin containers. Perfect centerpiece for Thanksgiving or for any fall entertaining. A little early for Thanksgiving, but hey, never too early to think about your tablescape, right? So I hope you enjoyed the video and learned something today. As always, please like and subscribe. Leave me a comment to tell me how you're decorating your house for fall, and I will see you in my next video.